That's a good cup of matcha, if I do say so myself. Anyway, let's get started. Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren. This is my channel where I talk about all the things. It's been a hot minute since the last time I uploaded anything. I haven't uploaded anything I think since January maybe, so it's March now. So I'm sorry. But I'm back, and I'm back with a vengeance, with a MATCHAT about how not everyone is gonna like you. I've been planning this video for a long time now because it's just a topic that I really could have done with hearing when I was going through a point in my life where I just felt like I needed to be validated by everyone's opinion of me. If you're a people pleaser like I used to be and still am sometimes, then this is definitely going to help you figure out what opinions matter to you and what opinions don't, because it's as simple as that at the end of the day. So before we get started, make sure you've got a cup of matcha or coffee or water, whatever you want to drink. You know, we can't all be fancy today, so I get that, so drink whatever you've got. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I make a new video, which I promise will be every week from now on. I'm going to have a regular schedule this month, I swear. So when it comes to not everyone is going to like you, I feel like it sounds super negative, but it's actually a massive positive thing that if you can just cultivate it in the right way, you can apply it to your own life and you can feel better about your friends and your family and your loved one. The truth is, you can literally be the most amazing person in the world and someone is still going to find a fault with you. That's the thing. That's the thing. You're never going to be able to please every single person in the room. There's always going to be someone who just doesn't like what you do, doesn't like how you look or what your message is, or they just can't, you know, identify with what you're trying to say or who you're trying to be. And that's because the world is full of people who are not necessarily bad, but are just very different to you. I guarantee you there are people out there who are like the exact opposite of you in every way possible. So if you have that person and you meet that person and their morals and their appearance and their likes and interests are completely different to yours, then of course you're not going to be able to win them over necessarily. Like, there's always going to be conflict. That's okay, because not everyone is going to like you. That's the point of this matcha. Not everyone is going to get you. And I just think that if we can remember that you can literally be like perfection and still attract negative energy, then maybe we can be less harsh on ourselves when we think, okay, well, you know, Beyonce has people who don't like her, so I guess I'm doing alright. For me personally, this has been such a massive journey for me because I used to value people's opinions more than I valued my own. I was told by someone who I didn't even talk to this person, and they told me once that I was like too happy and like came across as like too much and exaggerated and all that kind of stuff, like you're just too much. I don't know if you've ever been told that you're too much, but it's just one of those things that just hits you in the heart, because it's like, what do I do about that then? Like, how can I possibly solve that? And I took that to heart to the point where it really got to me and it really affected me, when in reality that was just someone who didn't get on with me, didn't see me for who I am, or maybe just didn't like who I am, which is totally fine, because not everyone is going to like who I am, because hey, not everyone is going to like you. Okay? We have to become aware that there are going to be people who just do not get it. That is what I want you to take away from this today. This person who told me that I was too happy just didn't get it. I wasn't for them, they're not for me. We're not ever going to be friends, it's not going to happen. But then there are people out there who need someone who is too much, because it helps them to feel like they can also be too much. And actually being too much might not like that, it might not be for that person, but for some other people and for myself, I personally love that quality about me. So that was a journey. I just summed it up in like 2 minutes, but that was a journey for me. And obviously it wasn't just this one person's opinion. You have like multiple people telling you that you're too much, and that's when it really starts to grate on you and you start to think, oh no, am I too much? So if you are going through something like that, then I just want you to remember that there is a chance that these people genuinely see you in this way and don't like you. And it's better to know that now than to find it out later on, when maybe this person's opinion becomes even more important to you because you decided to trust them when they told you that you were too much 10,000 years ago. It's better now to be able to say, alright, your opinion does not matter to me, than to leave it so that it festers until one day it actually does. Like, just as some examples for you to think about, things like nice guys finish last. We all aspire to be kind and to be nice, hopefully, yet we have this idea ingrained in us that if you are nice, you are not going to be successful. How are you supposed to win with that? Or this idea that confidence is arrogant and being confident is bad, even though we make videos about how to be confident and we dress up so we feel confident, and yet we're telling ourselves that being confident is a bad thing because it makes you look like a horrible person. Or this idea that being funny means that you are just a class clown or just a joker and you have no depth to your soul. We all want to have validation, we want people to laugh at our jokes, yet we sit there and say, oh no, being funny means that you don't actually have a personality. So no matter who you are or what you do or what you're good at, there's always going to be someone who faults you for it and says that it's not real or that it's not valid. And that's something to think about when we start to pick at our own personality. It's just helpful to remember that no matter what stereotype you fit into, there is always going to be someone who doesn't like it. So all you can do is decide who you're going to be and what you're going to do, and do that. That's it. That's all you can do. You have to honour yourself and honour your own mind, and as long as you feel like you're on the path to you, then all these opinions that hit you from time to time, they're not going to matter half as much as they would if you were trying to be someone who you're not, you know? When we think about people not liking us, how not everyone is going to like us, it's important to remember that we need to like ourselves. So if you struggle to think of who you actually are, try to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Who are you and what do you really do? What do you really like? What are your interests really? If you were alone and you didn't have access to social media and to friends and to external influences, what would you be doing? What would you spend your time doing? For me, I've always found it really helpful to identify with characters, like book characters and movie characters and people who are real and living their lives, and just to remind myself of who I am and who I'm trying to be. So a way of doing that is when you watch something like your favourite Netflix show, or you know, you watch an interview with your favourite actor or whatever, ask yourself, what is it about this person or this character that makes you feel connected to them? Why do you like your favourite character? What is it about them that makes you just feel like, yes, I want to meet them, I want to be with them, whatever it is. So for example, I love Kim Namjoon from BTS. I've always identified with him because of his maybe, you know, a little bit dark past, but he overcame it and he's always trying to better himself, and his struggles in mental health and just his struggles in general and his ambition to be just the best version of himself, and I always have identified with that. So I can reflect on myself by thinking about how I identify with him. It's just an easy way of doing it without having to be too soppy towards yourself, because, you know, who wants to be soppy? There's no time to be soppy. Life's too short to be soppy. We might as well have fun even when we're trying to self-develop as people. Another way of getting more connected to who you are so that you can stop worrying about how not everyone's going to like you is reflecting on your happiest moments. So this is hard. Like, whenever someone asks me what's your happiest moment in life, I'm like, and that's because there's so many to choose from, and so many times where I have just felt overwhelmed with joy. I can think of like 1,000 times where I felt that, and I would encourage you to write these things down and remember them, and really try and do a bit of self-reflection on them, and try to remember some of your happiest moments and who were you in those moments, because we all have complex personalities and certain sides of ourselves show on certain days. So in your happiest moments, what kind of person were you? Were you a jokester? Were you laughing a lot? Were you smiling a lot? Were you being sarcastic? Were you being funny? Or were you being romantic? Were your happiest moments where you were feeling the most loved or the most loving? Or were your happiest moments where you were surrounded by family or friends or by yourself? Reflect on your happiest moments and who you were in those moments and who you were with in those moments, and that is a sure answer as to who you are, because when you're happy it means that you are feeling content, and you can't really be happy if you're not yourself. So if you were happy in that moment, it means that you were yourself in that moment. See if you can find a pattern in those times, and maybe then you'll be able to build up your own character. And then just keep to that. Even when someone tells you that you were too loud or you laugh too much or whatever they have to say, you know who you are because you know when you're your happiest. And if you're going to do anything whilst you're here on earth, then just be happy. Trust me. Another thing that you should do, I shared this on my blog a long time ago because I kind of like thought of it and I was like, oh, that's so important. Make a list of the opinions that matter to you. Whose opinion means something to you. Don't be kind about this list. No one else is going to see it. If you don't end up putting someone who you think should be on there, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you're getting more clear on whose opinions mean something to you. When I did it, I think I had like 2 opinions on there and one of them was my own. So, mic drop. There's people who might say something to you like, you know, maybe you're a bit this at the moment, or you know, you need to do this a bit or whatever, and maybe it's something you'll think about. It's probably going to surprise you, the opinions that you end up putting down on the list and the people who you put on the list, but just remember that the whole point of this exercise is that it's going to remind you that only your opinion really matters. That doesn't mean you can just go around being horrible to everyone, but it does mean that when you are in situations where you're starting to be questioned about who you are truly, just remember that it has to come from you, not from someone else. That's pretty much it. And in terms of just keeping up with this, because you do these initial exercises and then it's like it fades over time, we can do things like meditation and journaling on a daily basis so that we always know who we are. We can always come back to that amazing person who we are inside all the time, and that's going to help us to, you know, push away the haters, because there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people who don't agree. By journaling and meditating on a regular basis, we can stay in check with ourselves, keep an eye on ourselves and make sure that we're still being ourselves. So it's all Gucci, it's all good. Push away those haters, keep being yourself, you got this. And just to sum it all up, not everyone is going to like you. I like you, 1 billion people would like you, but there are always going to be some who don't, and that doesn't matter because you need to like you, and if you like you, I hereby give you permission to continue being yourself. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here and chatting with me today, chatting with me today. I really got into that, just ended up talking and just letting my matcha go cold, so that's great. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and if you've got any tips on how to deal with basically haters, then you know, come at me, bring me those tips, because we all could do with that positivity in our lives. And apart from that, I love you lots and lots, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.